I'm not really here to discuss optic issues. You know, if fans don't like it or the media doesn't like it or whatever, I think, you know, it is what it is.
Oilers captain Connor McDavid is in hot water after his response to rumors of Edmonton potentially signing Evander Kane. CBC Sports contributor Shireen Ahmed is here to put McDavid's take into context. First of all, can you please explain what the general reaction to McDavid's comments were? And then we want to know what your reactions were.
Yeah, I think the technical term here is ratioed. But like the response on Twitter was also not only from a media perspective, but when you had the hockey community come in and speak in forums on social media, provide that platform for hockey fans and, you know, media personnel as well to sort of reflect on it. Now, the immediate response I had was like, I can't believe he just said that and believes that. I mean, we've come out a year that was quite harrowing. 2021 saw some really, you know, upsetting yet necessary reporting on hockey and hockey culture. It's not just about Kyle Beach, but it was talking, we had a year in a pandemic where we saw incredible amounts of anti-indigeneity and trauma from that community to come in. And that is connected to the Oilers. I mean, Ethan Bear played there and, you know, is now with the Canes. But my point is that this is stuff that I feel that McDavid acting as captain, sitting in front of those cameras and sharing a perspective on a potential teammate who is allegedly committed some really terrible things, but you're essentially saying that we're in it for the win. We trust Ken Holland. Well, gee, what could go wrong if you blindly trusted like a GM? I wonder. I think his comments made a lot of people think, and from what I saw, have we not learned anything? And has he not learned anything?
Yeah, and I think that leads to my next question, because you mentioned Kyle Beach. I mean, Akeem Alou has spoken up, Daniel Carcillo, the conversation around pro hockey and where that fine line is drawn between winning games but also respecting human beings, you know, has been a huge topic of conversation in the last few years. So do you think, you touched on it a little, but can you talk more about whether, you know, these comments mean that we actually haven't learned very much at all?
Well, one of the things that he said was like, it doesn't matter if the fans don't like it or the media doesn't like it. And I have two issues with that. It's not about whether the fans like it. These are issues of importance. Hockey culture is not just about winning the game. I mean, Wayne Gretzky said nobody is above the game, and you're basically saying that winning is everything. No, the game itself deserves better. The game deserves people of caliber and of content and of good character. Don't we hear that a lot? Every time in the past they've talked about racialized players, are like, character is important, but suddenly you ignore that. And I think one of the things here, the other funny point, which I think it's funny, is Connor McDavid's like, the media doesn't like it. Well, Connor, I don't know if anybody told you the media's job isn't to like what you do, it's to report accurately. So I mean, that comment was like out of nowhere. And I think this goes to show that there is a way that professional athletes have to compartmentalize. I understand that they have to focus on their job and they can't put their mental health at risk. But when you are ignoring a community, like fans are a huge part of this game. And Oiler fans in particular have stuck with this team for a long time. So to dismiss Oilers fans, I thought was disrespectful, and I thought was incredibly ignorant.
You know, you mentioned character and the responsibility, I guess, that lies in figures like Connor McDavid in the sport. The fact that he feels comfortable speaking the way he did about the topic, what does that say about not only his perceived responsibility as a team captain in the league, but also where the culture of the sport is at right now?
The culture of sport, from what I understood from that presser, is whatever Ken Holland says it is for that team. And that's also not something that I think Connor McDavid, or any captain for that matter, should be saying publicly, because what you want to be doing, and we're having conversations about looking at anti-racism and anti-homophobia and anti-misogyny in hockey, because these are all things that have affected this sport for many, many people. I mean, Canadians are still reeling from the reporting about what came out of the Chicago NHL team in Kyle Beach. Like, it's very raw for a lot of people, or did we forget that? And that was literally, you know, it was reported upon what happened and the breakdown in the club. So if we're seeing flags here, and they're being ignored by the captain who's saying, well, I'm going to trust Kenny. Well, has Kenny earned that trust? And I'm not saying that Evander Kane, I'm not commenting on anything in terms of his ability on the ice, but when you're going to talk about issues that are important and interloped into the game, like that's something that Connor McDavid should think about when he's representing his team. And he's had trouble on the team in the sense of people racially attacked Ethan Bear when he was still there. And it took him 2 days to come up with a statement. And Ethan Bear said he felt alone. So now it feels like Connor McDavid is picking and choosing where he shows. He's quick to offer support to Ken Holland, but where was he when Ethan Bear was being racially abused? It took 2 days to come out with an Instagram post. Like, and for Ethan Bear to then go on record after the fact and talk about how he felt alone and as if he was on an island, that was reported in The Athletic, that makes me, judge the character of the team in itself and the culture. And that's a problem, especially when there are huge steps being made in hockey. I feel them. The tectonic plates in the game are shifting, and fans have a lot to do with that. Fans are having conversations, media is having conversations they hadn't had before. And so for him to dismiss that, Connor McDavid to dismiss that, is equally problematic.
Did McDavid miss an opportunity here to put all of the reporting from the last few years, to put all of the conversation, uncomfortable conversation that's happened in the last few years, to kind of put it into work? Like, is that part of the responsibility of a captain?
That's a great question. And I think that's the best way to put it, is a missed opportunity. And I think that you're certainly not endearing the community to yourself, because he's dismissed his own fans. Like, can you imagine the captain of your team going out there and saying, I don't care if fans like it or not? Like, what a thing to say for a captain. So like, absolutely missed opportunity instead of being able to bring these communities together. And like, again, I will say this because I found it very bizarre. The media is not there to be your friend. That's not what media actually does. So you can, but your fans, they deserve that respect. They deserve that acknowledgement. And he absolutely missed the mark on this one.